just makes me smile. Paul Scalata, I'm pretty sure I'm butchering his last name. From Paul and the Tall Trees, been on the show before, has done stuff with Touring Fan Live. Just put out a new single under his birth name called Let Me Be, and I just love his voice. I just feel like he belongs and was written to be in a Quentin Tarantino film. Like, this guy, his music it deserves a Tarantino part.
Yeah, that was very Memphis blues, nice sort of late '60s, Otis Redding, Sam and Dave, kind of feel there. I like it.
He's his vocals, his range, what he's able to do. I mean, it's just he's so talented, and his dad. He's in the Shalada. I can't. I'm gonna butcher it. It's the Shaladas, and he does a bunch of stuff with his dad, and his family's super talented. And it's just it's amazing. So definitely check him out. I'll have some links in some descriptions on how to listen to it. But his new single just came out 2 weeks ago, with the whole album coming out in September. So give it a listen.
Give it a listen. I like what I heard right there. Thank you.
Good stuff. Well, we're back. We are here, Touring Fan Live, and let's talk vinyl. Trey Bush, all the way from, the West Coast.
Hello.
And enough. I mean, I can't say it's enough. I don't know what Holly did with the lighting in that facility, but you are a glowing just beam of energy right now. You're looking good. I mean, got to give it to Holly.
I appreciate it. Holly came over and touched me up, put some makeup on me and all that stuff. Wow. So it looks like I've got you can see the shades are closed. It's like, it's the time of the year right now, 6:00 at night. I think sunset's at close to 8. By the time midsummer hits, it's, sunset's at 10 o'clock. So
yeah,
it's for sure our favorite time of the year. It's gardening season.
Oh,
we've got the majority of our gardens planted out. We've got a few more plants to kind of fill out, but we're going to have another 20, 25 different tomato plants and a bunch of peppers and squash and watermelon and all the good stuff. We got all the herbs and all the good herbs. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know you're talking about. So, isn't it kind of funny? Because if 20-year-old Trey was talking to the Trey of now and like, hey, what do you do for fun? I like to plant, and
I like the garden.
And 20-year-old Trey like, what the fuck is going on here?
No way, man. It's funny. I grew up with my mom. We were in my 18 years. My first 18 years, I lived in apartments pretty much my entire life. And no matter where I lived, no matter what my apartment complex was like, my mom always was still growing tomatoes and flowers. And she loved the garden. And so I think that's where some of that comes from. And Holly loves the garden too. So, and because we love to be together, we like to garden together. So,
well, the old saying, those who garden together stay together. That's a t-shirt.
Look at that. I see a new t-shirt in the making.
I see one myself. Well, tonight we are going back to some of the formats. We've been bouncing around for the last few months, talking about different things, but tonight we're going back to our original format. We're going to be talking about Pearl Jam song Once, and then trying to finalize 10. And here's the thing, Trey, and you can kind of fill in on this, which I'm excited about. Livefootsteps.org, which is a website we've been using for a while, they actually have our rating system of how we rate songs on there, from all the Pearl Jam songs from all previous episodes to all the ones in the future. And it has all of them on there. So if we've done a show, we've talked about that song, the rating's on there. So as we continue to do the shows, we're going to continue to do Pearl Jam songs. The ratings from that are going to go there. So that's where we kind of bring this all together. So tonight we'll be talking about those two songs, talking about some wine. We're going to talk about some music that you should be listening to, and then I have a question for you. We're going to bring up later about something that it hit me these last couple of days. Once again, getting older, I start thinking about things in more depth, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to ask this question to Trey. So later, I'm going to ask you a question and see something, but we'll get to that later.
Are you asking that because you're sitting here looking at me and you're like, I was just thinking about getting older? Is that what you're doing?
No, listen.
Jesus, Anthony, I'm sitting right here across from you.
No, so I turned 40 last week, right? But then the same
40.
week, in the same week, I had a friend of mine who passed away from ALS at 44.
Yeah.
who left behind 3 daughters. And then I just today found out a kid I went to school with ended up taking his life, 41 years old. And then all these
Yeah.
things, and you the older you get surrounded more around, unfortunately, death and
Yeah.
questions, and you start questioning things, decisions you made, and what you want to do in the future. And then, I'm trying to find the positive side of things, and I am,
Yeah.
whatever it is, what it is. But there's a question, and it involves music and things. You know what? Fuck it. I'll ask it now. We'll just start the show off with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
As we progress in life, I think we all have comfort, whether it's a blanket, whether it's a tool, something that makes us feel good or could bring us back to a feeling.
Yeah.
And I think music for all of us, if you're listening to this, I mean, it means something to you. And whether it's a band, a song, or an album or something. And, I was thinking to myself the other day, turning 40, seeing people pass. My grandfather passed at like 47. So, like, that getting close to 47 is, that's a scary number to me. And I'm like, and I remember when he passed, like, music would bring me comfort. And then, like, as I got older, some songs, like, I would have a tough time, like, would make me comfort. And I have a song that's like a comfort song. Like, when I need to feel something, or I need to overcome something, or there's a song that just makes me want to cry, or I need to get out a cry, or maybe it just makes me want to smile, there's that song. And it's one song, and it's been this same song for as long as I can remember. And it's Wish You
Yeah.
Were Here by Pink Floyd. Like, that song has been a comfort blanket for me for a long portion of my life. Like, I don't, I know the song doesn't resonate with the idea of why it's a comfort song for me, but there's
Yeah.
something about that, the way it builds and digresses and progresses throughout the song. And it's been a comfort song for me. So what my question to you was, do you have a song that, like, you have that comforts you?
I mean, I don't have a song that necessarily comforts me. I have songs that um, make me think of loss. Off He Goes for me is just a super powerful emotional song that reminds me of my friend Eric. But then I've since then been able to uh, use that. I think about that song not just with Eric anymore. I think about with my friend Jeffrey, who I lost a couple of years ago to brain cancer. And so, yeah, I absolutely understand what you're saying about finding comfort in music. I don't necessarily go to a particular song for that. I think that for me, it's more like songs will evoke. You remember when we were talking about My Morning Jacket the other day, and there's a new song on there that really hits home for you. It almost makes you want to cry.
Yeah.
The music does that for me in general.
Yeah.
Lots of different songs can do that for me. So, yeah, I can't say I go back to any particular song, but I can certainly tell you that when certain songs play, they will elicit emotion at different times and for different reasons, for sure.
Yeah,
So
no, I agree with you, and I'm glad that we can have that conversation too about things, because I think the one thing that I hate, that I really despise, is that people can't find ways to get in tune with their emotions and be open about
yeah,
it. I feel like that's
yeah,
one thing that I mean, we're going on 5 years this summer of doing the show.
yeah,
And I mean, I feel like the one thing that, like, that you and me have been always honest about is, like, how we truly feel about things, whether we agree or
yeah,
disagree with things. It's like, we can be open about it. And I've never judged you, and I don't think you've ever judged me. And I think that's why we have the relationship we have. And
yeah,
I think, like, I can tell you the stories of, like, you were just talking about the My Morning Jacket song, Time Waited, which to me is, talking about that song. And I just did an episode recently about that show, and, like, having Charlotte with me, hearing that song
right,
and thinking about, like, that buildup of me and Heather struggling to have a child, and then, like, almost giving up, and then it just happened, and then having her there, and having it being played right in front of us and experience that for the first time there. I mean,
right,
it took fucking everything out of me to
yeah,
just hold it all together, that show, because that's the cool thing about art in general, whether it's music,
yeah,
whether it's posters, whether it's movies. They're supposed to invoke feelings. It's supposed to
yeah.
make you feel a certain way. That, I mean, if it doesn't, then why are you doing it? If you're just
What's the point?
listening, exactly, what's the point? So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. Most of the time, I would tell you that it's uh, joy is what you feel with music.
mhm.
Most of the time, it makes you feel happy, upbeat, whatever. sometimes it makes you feel angry.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes like I'm thinking about our first song tonight, which we'll get into at once, and I'm like, when first of all, it's baffling that in 5 years we haven't done that song yet. The very first Pearl Jam song on the very first Pearl Jam album, and how we missed talking about this, but that's an angry song,
Yeah.
and you know, well, gosh, why did that resonate with me as a 21-year-old when I heard that for the first time, or 20, or however old I was? Um, well, it tapped into something, you know, uh, and I'm guessing most teenagers probably have some angst in them, and so that's why that music, you know, resonates with you in certain ways. You're like, oh yeah, I can feel that anger. Maybe you're not going to go out and like beat somebody up because you hear that song,
Yeah.
but it gives you the outlet, to to use that song in some way, shape, or form without having to go beat somebody up.
I agree.
So yeah, yeah.
Well, now
Well, that's a good
that's
question. I like it. I appreciate it. It's a
yeah.
prescient question for sure. So
Well, I mean, I feel like everything is supposed to make you feel a certain way, and it's just like I said. I feel like I turned 40, and I was driving in my Jeep to go get coffee, and I was just it like I got morbid. Like I was sitting in the car, I was like, man, double my age, I'll be 80. Am I going to live to 80? Like, what's
yeah,
next? Like, it was really I got to a really dark place, and like I remember like my grandfather came in. I'm like, all right, I put on that song, and it just kind of like comforted me, like relaxed me for a few minutes, and
oh, that's good.
kind of I was kind of able to step forward. I'm like, man, I wonder if like, am I unique in the sense that like I have this song that I'm able to do this with, or is this something that a lot of people have? And I know that we do a lot of similar things when it comes to music, so I figured I'd
Yep,
ask.
yep, yeah. Well, first of all, well, we should do a whole different topic. We'll do a whole different show on mushrooms at some point too. But talking about tapping into emotions and
Mm.
how music makes you feel. But anyway, another topic, another show.
Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I did. Just to give you a funny quick story. I did an edible like 2 weekends ago. It's called Black Hole Sun here in Kansas City. It's a new brand, but it's spelled SON instead of SUN.
Yeah.
And it's the smallest thing, and it says, "Oh, cut it up." Like it's only these little pieces are 10 milligram. I'm like, all right, I'm a big guy, I can handle half of this thing. So I took fucking half of it. I was in my basement staring at this wall for 3 hours, like just
On
fucking like
5 milligrams, Anthony, come
no, no,
on.
no, 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 no. It was 50 milligrams. There was 20 pieces. It was so tiny. I wasn't expecting that much. No, 50 fucking milligrams. I was gonzo.
So you had 100 milligram gummy in front of you, and you ate half of it.
Yeah, well, listen, most of the gummies you have are
Yeah.
they're like a gusher size. This whole thing I mean, it was maybe
Well, yeah, but that's why you have to read the packaging, man.
I don't believe in reading.
I can tell you yes, boy, the difference between a 10 milligram and 100 milligram. I have a Nick Cave experience. It's much like that, where I woke up the next morning after seeing Nick Cave in the Bad Seeds at the Paramount, and it was the same thing. I knew what I was taking. That's the difference. Also, for all of you first timers out there with edibles, if you're about an hour into it and you don't think you feel anything, do not double up.
Yeah,
Don't
no.
don't go, oh, God, these things must not be very strong. I'm gonna eat the rest of this thing. And that was the mistake that my friend Ronnie and I made. And so anyway, I woke up the next morning, and I walked over to the kitchen, or the bathroom sink, and I was staying in a hotel near the Paramount. I looked into the mirror, and my eyes were as bloodshot as they've ever been in my entire life, just bright red. And I'm like, I don't think I can drive home still. This is like a good 12 hours after I'd eaten this thing.
Jesus.
So anyway, yes, I feel your pain or your, I
I
want to call it pain. I mean,
it
you
wasn't
got,
pain.
to go with it.
I went with it, and I knew like when like you can like you're in your head and you're like, all right, you know what's going on, but like you can't like you're still like not in control. Like I was staring at this one. I have a Jack White poster from Kansas City from a few years ago where it's kind of like a spooky image, and I think I
Yeah.
was talking to it for about 20 minutes. Like
Yes.
it was
Yeah.
that was but I had the
That's
best sleep of
awesome.
my life. It was the best sleep of my life. It was fucking fantastic. So
That's so good.
So let's talk about the wine you're drinking.
Well, are you on a fast, buddy? You're still not drinking, which is fine.
Yes.
No judging, you know that.
This will be the last episode that I will not drink wine. I have another half. I'm doing 3 more half marathons this month. That hopefully should push me to a qualifier. And then I am also training for my first gravel bike race, which will be coming up. So, yeah. So I'm pushing myself further and further. Yeah. But yeah, no. Right now, I'm trying my best not to put any sugar in my body. So I'm in a very heavy fast this week. So I haven't had sugar in 3 days. And I don't plan on taking any. I won't intake any sugar until next Friday, the night before my race.
You'll eat a bunch of sugar the night before your race, like a bunch of Snickers bars and stuff.
No. What I'll probably do is I'll probably have some carbs that have some sugar in it. So I'll probably do like a pasta based I like before a run I like to do like a ravioli, like a really good like.
This sounds exactly like the Office episode where Michael was running to cure rabies, and he was carb loading as he was eating, just pounding the pasta. So that's all I can picture now, Anthony. Is you're on the starting line with a big, huge thing of pasta, just pounding it down.
No, oh God, I haven't. My wife's the only person who knows the story. So last Saturday, I ran my series of 3. So I did 3 half marathons in a short period of time, like 3 weeks, and it was for this called the Heartland series. And if I qualified my times there, then I would be able to qualify for some other races, because my goal right now is to get into the Boston Half Marathon at the end of the year. So the night before, my wife's amazing like this. She cooks me a big dinner, and she's like, "Hey, I made some fresh meat sauce. It's gonna be good." So I'm like, raviolis, meat sauce is perfect. I can't tell you, between 10Ks, half marathons, I'm probably in my like 50s. Like I've run a 10 half marathons and a ton of 10Ks and 5Ks, all that stuff. I have never had any issues running. Like maybe, your toe hurts or anything. I had to stop and shit 3 times during this race. Like, legitimately had to stop 3 times. I have never had to do it in my life. But here's the crazy thing, though, Trey. Like, I had to run faster because I knew my time, so I had to run faster to get to the restroom. So, like, when I finished the race, it was one of my better races I've ever ran.
Motivation.
So it's like, dude, it's like,
you know what? I think you should take, like, next time you take a laxative right before the race, and we'll see how fast you run. No, have them space the bathroom just a little further.
No, I'm like, is this what 40 is gonna bring me? Like, I can't even fucking run without having a bowel movement.
Man,
it was terrible. So yeah,
that's terrible.
So yeah, so this will be my last episode. I don't do bottle of wine. Brad actually brought me a ton of wine when he came out here for Jack White, so I have some really good ones lined up for the next few months.
I hope they're all Washington State wines, Brad.
Some are and some are not. Some are from Canada, which makes sense, and some I think this is from California. But
you don't say.
Yeah.
Oh, take off.
Hey,
hold her. All right. We're gonna jump into this real quick. We are drinking the. I can't read that at all. It's too bright.
Go closer to the screen. Go closer to the.
They're closer.
Camera. Keep going. Go down.
Look.
There you go.
Oh, there we go. This is made by a good friend of mine named James Mantone in the Columbia Gorge, AVA. Hood River, on the Washington side of the border. Winery is called the syncline, a geological term. You have a syncline and an anticline. James is a great winemaker. He started his career in the late 2000s, maybe the early 2010s. His early vintages, most of his fruit was coming from the Columbia Valley, but when he bought his property, almost everything, I believe, now comes out of the Columbia Gorge AVA, which is a very exciting place to grow grapes. It's on the border of where you can actually, like, you go 10 miles, 15 miles to the west towards Portland, it's too wet. You're in that zone where the rain shadow starts to end, and it gets a little bit drier, but it's still quite cool in comparison to like where we are. So you're growing some of the same varietals, but a lot of white grapes over there. This is actually from the Horse Heaven Hills. So this is a little further to the east. It's a Carignan and Grenache.
Ooh.
So these are Rhone varietals. Grenache, most people know. Syrah, people know from the Rhone Valley, but Carignan is one of the lesser known grapes from the Rhone Valley. We have a little bit of it planted in Washington, and James does a great job with this. I don't think this is 2016, so it's 9 years old now.
Wow.
I don't detect any new oak on this. My guess, and I think I know James's winemaking style. He's not a new oak guy at all, so he's just sort of. I think we have similar philosophies. We're just utilizing different sites, so our wines are different because of where we're making the wine. But I think the way that we make wines is probably pretty similar. So anybody who's ever out in the Hood River, Oregon area, on the Washington side of the border is a little town called White Salmon, and James's winery is about 5-10 miles just to the east of downtown White Salmon. Again, killer winemaker, one of the most beautiful spots on earth. If I could pick up our winery and move it anywhere, I would move it to the Gorge.
Really?
I just oh my God, I love that. And I'm not talking about the Gorge where Pearl Jam plays.
Sure.
This is where the Columbia River heads to Portland. And so when you're at Hood River, Oregon, you're 60 miles from Portland, Oregon. So 60 miles to the east of Portland is where Hood River is, and that's where this area is. So if you find yourself in Portland, you want to go taste some great wines, reach out to me and I'll put you in touch with James. But anyway, lovely wine. Grenache and Carignan, not necessarily known for super dark color. They're quite aromatic, quite floral. At 9 years old, this wine is still rocking good.
Well, I will be in Portland the first week of August for 9 Inch Nails and My Morning Jacket. So
if you're going to be, where are you going to be on August 2nd?
That's a great question. Let me check my calendar. Am I going to be there August 2nd?
That's a Saturday, and that is the Thing Festival in Seattle.
Maybe I have to.
That is Father John Misty and Deep Sea Diver and Yola Tango and a bunch of killer bands, and I can get you tickets for that.
I'll have to find out because I know 9 Inch Nails. I'm checking right now because I'm flying in the day before 9 Inch Nails, but I haven't really booked anything official yet because we're moving things around a little bit. Because our friend Brad, who's from Canada right now, we're going to go see 9 Inch Nails in Canada as well, but we're holding off on that. Portland, no, I'll be August. I think that's August 7th. I fly in. And we go Portland. Okay. Portland, Oregon is August 8th for 9 Inch Nails, and then My Morning Jacket's August 9th at that winery.
Fair enough. Should I just say Michelle?
I believe so. I'd have to look.
Yeah, the one up in Woodinville.
I think so. Yeah, so I think we're gonna do some more exploring because the last time I was in Portland, of course I was doing some other things. So this time I think I'm gonna explore a little more. So I'll have to check out the winery. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, good. Well, I'll help you out up there. So.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
Awesome. All right, let's dive into it.
So it is interesting to me when I started looking into the songs we did that we did not do once. Like this is a song that I feel as though is a pillar, or I would say is the foundation to Pearl Jam when it comes to the stepping stones of what built this band up. Once is probably one of those songs that really is what the band's about. I mean, this song really is a defining career song for them. Like I mean if you were to retire songs in a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, this is probably one of them. Like this is probably one of the, whether you love this song or not, this is Pearl Jam. Like Once is Pearl Jam. Like this is definitive Pearl Jam.
Yeah, no argument there. I mean, it's the first thing you bought that CD. My guess is majority of us all started off with Alive because that was the single that was played. That was the first video, maybe Even Flow. But when you bought that CD and you put that thing in, the first track you heard. And what I remember the beginning of that song and being this weird, like, what the fuck is this, And then it just like launches. And that goes back into, and again, I was in 1991, I was still listening to a shit ton of 80s metal. That's just what I grew up on. That's what I loved. That's why Alice in Chains, I gravitated towards Alice in Chains quite early because they really tapped into that metal side of things, and Soundgarden did as well. but with Pearl Jam and in regards to this song, you know, just a flurry of guitars, you know, Eddie screaming, it was a powerful song and a great track one, a great way to like launch into what that album was really about and what that album meant top to bottom. It was a good foundation for that album, I think.
A good foundation for the band. I mean, this is the song that's really, in theory, starts it. Like, this starts the band. If you went and bought the album not knowing anything about Alive or Jeremy, or just went and got the album because of the hype around Pearl Jam, and this is the first song you hear, this is what jumpstarts the whole idea behind it. And here's something clever too. There's only few songs that you can say this about, but this is a great song to have that kind of, how the song's played differently across so many different drummers, because this is one of the few songs that Cruisin', Chamberlain, Abruzzi, Irons, and Cameron have all played at some point in their career. And it's how different takes have been made and how it feels differently across them. I mean, they're all like, of course, Cruisin' is the original when it came to the idea of it being on the album. Then you had, Dave A, that, Abruzzi, who kind of made it more heavier and more of a faster paced song. Chamberlain with Chamberlain and Jack Irons, they're more of like, they were kind of they were, I would say, in that mix of Cruisin' and Abruzzi. And then Cameron, I mean,
now where would we have heard the Matt Chamberlain version of that song?
Let me see if I can find it. I'm reading notes online, so give me a second.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For me, outside of the drummer, this is like an introduction to Eddie's voice. And this was like almost like the definitive angry Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You hear a lot of grunts and he's like, yeah, it was like an angry Eddie. And so there's so much pent up energy in this song. And again, as a 21-year-old, probably trying to figure my shit out. This tapped into something for me for sure.
Yeah, it's another song that makes you feel something, right? Like,
yeah.
But Matt Chamberlain did tour with them, and during the shows that he toured with, just for the few weeks, he did play this song a few times.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so when did Matt Chamberlain tour with them? Was this like after Cruisin'?
Right after Cruisin' left Chamberlain, he toured with them for a little bit. Then he basically, I think he left. If I'm reading this now, Chamberlain left Pearl Jam to join the house band of Saturday Night Live, which began in 1991. So, and then Dave A came in right afterwards. But he also, he toured with Soundgarden, and then he did join Bob Dylan's Never Ending Tour there for a little bit later in his career. But he was around,
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, it's one of the few times that, few songs. I mean, 10 is going to be the one album where you have Cruisin' who's played those songs across different, on the album. I mean, he wasn't a touring member. But so. No, it is interesting when you do this. But yeah, the idea behind this song is so passionate, and Eddie is still to this day, when this is one of the songs that, like, they haven't changed the way it plays the intro or anything like that. It's not like, how like Porch, like their build up of Porch is different now than it was 15 years ago. Once is still very much the way it opens and it's played is very much the same, and it's still one of the. This is not one of those songs you can pass up when you hear Alive. This is not one of the ones you yawn at. This is one of the ones you feel in your soul and you fucking go at it.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it is a crazy. The song itself is, it's a tale of a man's ascent into madness as he becomes a serial killer. Which, I mean, most people nowadays listen to serial killer podcasts. So I mean, this song should be tapping into people now more than ever.
That's true.
But here's some fun stats.
Yeah, go ahead.
Played 368 times, an opener 13 times, and only a closer once. I'm assuming that's got to be early on in their career.
Early, gotta be in the first 91, right?
I'm checking right now. Let's see. Closer. It closed. It was August 1st, 1992 in Clarkston, Michigan.
Wow. That was right before, a month before Drop in the Park.
Yeah. But it's the songs, it's, kind of revolves around as I go up here and I continue to look at livefootsteps.org. Song positions typically in that 1 to 5 range. It's where it's played about 40% of the time. And then it kind of more towards the middle. The end of it's going to be a little less, where it's more of the main and Encore 1, Encore 2, which is not more of a thing anymore, or even Encore 3 is not really around. They've had a few intros pop into it. I'm Not Crazy's been an improv in front of it about 5 times. And then Outshined was an intro to it 1 time. And then songs before it 56 times. Wash opened it. And then State of Love and Trust was 32 with Alive at 19. And then songs after Even Flow at 74 times, Porch at 43, and Alive at 38. So again,
have you ever seen a show where they opened with Once?
I'm gonna have to double check that. Hold on, let me see.
I can tell you that I have. I know for a fact because I saw the Pearl Jam 2016 Philadelphia show where they played 10 front to back. So
front to back, yeah, 2016, and they did. And actually, if you saw it, both nights they opened with Once. On the 20th and 29th, it was Once. It was the first song, which is interesting. But I'm looking. I don't know if I've never seen them open with Once. So you definitely got me beat on that for 100% sure. So we don't.
That show, by the way, was what day is today? The 30th. I think that show was yesterday.
Yeah, it's celebrated.
The anniversary of that show was either yesterday or the day before.
Yeah,
so 9 years ago.
26th and 28th and 29th. So yeah, last year. Wow.
Yeah.
Insane to me. Insane. So, but still a great song. I've had a couple of versions playing in the background right now. This is an older one from '93, Dave A playing on it. And this one I like because you can hear the drums more. Much different than how Matt plays.
Yeah, but again, I probably feel like the song is all about Eddie's vocals in this. It's such an angry song,
Oh, 100%. I'm just saying, listen, and I love all the different timetables for Pearl Jam when it comes to different drummers playing style and stuff. I just love the fact that you have that ability to hear it played in a different way, in a different character, because the band hasn't had that many changes. I mean, besides drumming. Yeah. So, but I don't ever say one's better than the other. I still think Matt Cameron's, a god among drummers when it comes to things. And Dave A definitely has a spot in history when it comes to things. So, but yeah, no, this is such a great song. So here comes the $1 million question, Trey. What do you rank this song in your top 25? And how do you rank it on a scale of 1 to 10?
This is, that whole album means a lot to me. So, yeah, I'm going to give this an 8.9.
Wow. Okay.
On the rating. It's a high rating.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this song definitely in my top 25. But, half that first album is probably in there too. So
I couldn't agree with you more. Definitely in my top 25. I would even go as far as say my top 10.
Top 10,
I gave this is probably one of the higher ratings I've given. This is a 9.74 for me.
9.74.
Actually 9.743 if you really want to be specific. That's what I wrote down on the old thing.
Let me look at my notes real quick here. 8.98. You could round up if you wanted. For me, but
8.98. Gotcha. I like that. We'll keep it 8.98. Still a great song. And this is one of those songs where, because they're playing shorter set lists now, this is a song that deserves its moment in a set list now. This is a song that it still has relevancy. It's still raw. It's still bold. It's still gritty. It's still a great song and a good one. So, and we could talk about those set lists later if we have time. But yeah, no, good stuff. So that was Once off of 10, which is all right. Another one off the list. We'll have to look at what are the songs off of 10. We just have to get that album knocked out. I think we've been doing this for 5 years. I mean, it's time to just knock that shit out.
Have we not knocked out all the songs off of 10 yet?
Mm-mm. No, we have not.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, I'll let you.
Crazy, right?
Crazy. I'm glad somebody's keeping track of this stuff.
If it wasn't for
if anybody's wondering, if anybody's wondering, Anthony is doing all the work. I just show up once a month.
Well, listen, you keep me motivated. So that's
Yeah,
good.
about
between
that. All
between
right.
you and Brian and everybody else and all the show. I mean, I don't. I mean, I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but we all have our fill. You're the talent. I'm just a lackey. How about that? That's why the wine bottle points to you on the bottom. All right. So the next song is, I think, a relevant song to now. There's something I said the other day.
Oh yeah, no, I was when you talked about playing this song, I'm like, well, that's as relevant. It's more relevant today than it was in '03 when it came out, for sure.
Oh, 100%. And I think the
Yeah.
one thing too is, I forgot where the fuck I was going with this. God,
It's green disease.
Green Disease, Pearl Jam.
Anthony.
Yeah, I totally lost my train of thought and everything. Yeah, no, I wanted to do something that had meaning to now, right? This is a song that Pearl Jam, it isn't a heavily played song by any means. I do think it's relevant to the times now than ever, with everything going on in the world. And this is one of those songs that I feel as though doesn't get enough love. Like, there's songs out there that I feel, Pearl Jam plays, and there's unique clicks to it. Like, there's a feeling to it. Like, I'm a big fan of the song Stranger's Tribe. A lot of people aren't as big of fans of that song, but it is what it is. But I feel like this song, like, it's just so good. But yeah, Green Disease, is one of those songs that, like, I like to hear live, and I've only heard it. I was trying to look at the stats here right now. I think I've heard it a few times. I know I have seen it. I've seen him fuck it up quite a few times. Yeah, I've seen it. Wow, I saw it twice in 2008, and I saw it a few times in 06. So yeah, I've seen it quite a few times. But they haven't really played it much. Only 66 times they've played the song, and out of those 66 times, I'm pretty sure they screwed it up probably 52 times.
Well, Eddie obviously did not have his monitor in front of him with lyrics, so.
So when you think of the song Green Disease, what comes to your like what makes you, what do you
Well,
think?
that whole album, that whole Riot Act album was, I think, probably, I say their most political, but certainly at the time, their most outwardly political album. They had the ability to live through the 90s without a whole lot of stuff going on from the standpoint of having to really rail against the government.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bush comes in, and certainly with 9/11 and all that stuff, but more importantly with just, and it's hard to even fathom today, because I feel like now people look back at George W. Bush like, oh boy, those were the days. If we could only have a conservative that was as soft and gentle as that guy.
I know.
But back in '03, you're like, what a fucking asshole, And so it's that's why I say this song is more prescient today than it was, I feel like, than when it was written. But the story is exactly the same. And that is that we have we have a government and certainly a leader that is taking the train off the rails, man. You know what I mean?
Totally
where we're supposed to look to the government to help us. We're supposed to look to the government to make good decisions for the well-being of everybody. And there's a line in there, something about the boat's not safe and we're drowning, and turns out he's the one making waves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly how we are right now. Here we are, we're all our society, I feel like our democracy is on the verge of literally being ripped away from us right now, and it's the hands of a few that are making that happen. Not the hands of the many. So, anyway, yeah, and it's all 100% out of greed. It's not out of anything else. It's pure greed. You know, how much money? How much do
how
you
much money?
need?
Yeah, how much money do you actually need?
How
That's
much do you need?
how much do you need? It's true.
You know.
I mean, and it's
So
some powerful lyrics. It's a disease and they're all green. It eliminates from their being. And the
yeah,
weeds with big leaves stealing light from what's beneath, where they have more, still they take more.
yeah, stealing light from what's beneath. They have more, but they're taking more. Right? Yeah,
Of course, I
yeah,
know then I don't. They're a stowaway with my throat. It's deceiving. I don't believe him. We can scream out our doors. Behind a wall, a fat man snores. In his dreams, he's choking tea leaves. It's, yeah. And then to scream GREED at the end of that song is just a powerful message of what is, you know, it's
yeah,
this, you know, this is a very hard song to play in the idea of, you know, that's why they don't play it often. I mean, it's a very fast-paced song, and there are kind of multiple things going on at the same time. But yeah, this is a powerful song. This is I'm waiting for I was waiting for it to be played in Florida. I thought that would have been a great place to have this song being played, kind of being in the state of our president's state and where he basically stays. Like, this would have been a powerful message. I think this is one of those songs where I don't know if they're going to really pull out again. I just think that this song has, I think that there's other political.
You don't think so? I'll bet they bust this song out oh yeah, for sure.
I don't think so.
Yes.
Here's some stats for you, right? Okay, it's only been played. Hold on a second. Let me pull.
When's the last time it was played?
Last time it was played was 2023, and then before that was 2018. So here, just to give you an idea, it was played in Chicago, 2023 September 7th. It was 2018 was played 3 times. There was twice. Once was just a tease on June 13th, and it was played a month later. Let me see here. I'm pulling up some more stats because this is interesting because, once again, like I said, this is one of those, you know, harder songs to play. We have, and then 2018, 2016 played once, 2014 played 3 times, and the majority of the times it was played, ready for this? So 2023 was played in Chicago, 18 was played in London, then in Poland, 2016 played in Toronto, Ontario, 2014 Stockholm, Sweden, and then it wasn't played, last time it was played in America besides Chicago in 2023 was 2012 in San Francisco, California, because then it was played, and that year was played in Norway and New Zealand. 2011 Winnipeg. 2009 was played in Philadelphia. That's when I started Spectrum, and then in Ridgefield, Washington, and then 2008 was played in Washington D.C. I saw it there, and then in Virginia Beach I saw it there June 17th, and then Camden, New Jersey. Yeah, it's a very rarely played song, and the majority of the time it's played is overseas.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Pearl Jam is they do find the right opportunity to bust songs out, and so I could see this coming out in, over the next. What, they've already played 3 shows. How many shows they have left? 12 songs. 12,
5, so
11.
10. So they've done 3. So that's 7. So 7 shows left. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? It was 7 or 8 because wasn't it 8 with the Jazz Fest?
Yeah.
Which I don't think they'll play as a Jazz Fest. If they're gonna play it, I would assume, because you got Nashville's next, right? And then after Nashville,
we have one more. Is there another Atlanta show?
There's another Atlanta show. So Atlanta's tomorrow. That's night 2. Then they have 2 in Nashville. Then they have 2 in Raleigh. Then 2 in Pittsburgh, right? I feel like I'm skipping one. Maybe that's it.
Like Akron in there? I don't know.
Akron? No, I don't think there's an Akron. Man.
Kansas City?
Yeah, right. This is, you know what? Here's a fun, crazy stat, and I'm surprised because I have an opportunity to go see him in Nashville next week, but I'm seeing My Morning Jacket on Friday. Like, this tour, I'm telling you, if you have an opportunity to see My Morning Jacket this tour, fucking jump on it. Like, this
I think we're gonna try to see them. I told you we'll try to see them at the in Bend, Oregon.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to make that work, but then it was like I'd have to take a week and a day to go to do that 9 Inch Nails and then do My Morning Jacket in Seattle, and I really want to see him at the winery. So I'm sorry. So Atlanta, they play Atlanta on tomorrow. Then they play New Orleans this weekend, Nashville next the week after, Raleigh, North Carolina the week after, then Pittsburgh. Yeah, they don't have many shows left. So, interesting.
I mean, I'm just saying, hard to think that's not a song they would not pull out based on the
state of the world.
climate
I can
where
see
we're
that.
at. You know what I mean?
You're totally right on
Yeah.
that one. I'm not disagreeing. I just feel as though this is a song that they rarely play. So I feel like if they did, first of all, if they did play this would be like, people would be like, holy shit, like this would be an exciting moment. I think that's when I would get some FOMO, I guess, because right now I haven't really had any. Like, I'm like, I'm happy that all my friends are getting this amazing time and stuff, but I'm like, this is the first Pearl Jam tour since 2006 that I didn't go see a show, at least on the tour. Yeah. So it's interesting, but I mean, I'm like, I feel like they'll play more by the end of the year, and I hope
so. I mean, if you, I haven't heard any rumors about anything one way or the other.
The only two things I saw, which once again, let me just put, hold on. Do I have a, please take this with a grain of salt. This is air horn rumors. Nothing is official. Me and Trey know nothing. The Clap Your Hand, the band, what the hell was, I want to say Clap Your Hands, say, yeah, maybe it was, maybe it was them, whoever it was. There was a band online that had leaked a festival called the Corona Festival in Mexico, and they were like, hey, we're really excited to play this in November, and Pearl Jam was the second day headliner. Then they deleted it. It went everywhere. A lot of people are saying it's fake, but that's that. I did see a list of shows for South America that was kind of sent to me by a fan of the show. Nothing's official. I don't want to say it's true or not, and I don't have no validation for that. And the last thing I saw was that there was these, like, Pearl Jam was playing these like random states in what's called October and November. September and October. And it was right after Ohana, and it was.
Well, Ohana's last week of September, so I have a hard time thinking there's any September shows.
So I can't imagine it's September because it's also a solo thing, and I've heard Eddie's doing a solo thing. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea. But it was like the Dakotas, Nebraska, like Utah.
Oh, Kansas, North Dakota.
No, fucking no Kansas, no Missouri. It was all like everything around me, but it was like these like unique little like places that they haven't played in a long time, and then it led back to Seattle with them doing what was, once again, this is not official. This was given to me, was that they were supposed to be doing a 2-night New Year's Eve thing in Seattle at the Climate Pledge Arena.
Climate Pledge.
But I don't. Once again, I have this. I was given to me by one person. I take it with a grain of salt. But I haven't seen anything otherwise. No.
Well, I've heard nothing on my end. So.
Going back. Green Disease. What do you give that? Is that in your top 25? And what is the rating?
No, it's not top 25. I like that song a lot, though. It's got, Eddie always has a way with words, and I always felt like the song lyrically was, it's written as a poem formed into a song.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about the way he sings it, he was taking his thoughts and making it fit into this particular song. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't flow like a lot of songs do. The way he has, the sentence will end to get into the next verse. It's a continuation of that thought process. You know what I mean? But I like this song a lot. Let's give this song a 8.4327.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. It's 84%. It's a B. It's a B.
So
Song's a B.
You're definitely more generous to me. This song is not my top 25. I enjoy the song, but this is not a song like that I'm digging out to play either. Like I won't skip it, but it's also like if I'm building a playlist, this is not going to be on my playlist. Like I'm not running a half a marathon and hoping that this song comes through at all, like to motivate me a little bit. But I do enjoy the song, but I give this song, this might be one of the largest discrepancies we've ever had. It's a 6.714.
That's an F.
That's not an F.
It's a 67%.
That's not an F.
It's a 6.7 out of 10.
That's not an F.
Is it a D minus? What is that?
It's like I don't know, like a D, but I mean, it's not a D.
It's like you're basically telling Eddie, hey, Eddie, here's your song. You get a D. He's a D. Here you go.
No.
Take it back. Work on it.
No. Yeah. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, like 5 is like a good average song. Anything above that, it gets better. Below that, you start going, all right, this is kind of, and then like below a 2, you're like, oh, and then below a 1, you're like, ooh. That's how I interpret it. This rating that we're doing.
Well, I'm just gonna make sure I let Eddie know that you gave him a D on Green Disease. That's fine.
I didn't give him a fucking D.
That's a D plus. It's a high 60s. It's a D plus.
If we're giving letter grades, I would give this like a C plus.
Well, a C plus is 78.
No, you can't. That's a total different score. Like that's a percentage. Like this is a 1 through 10. This is different. This is like I said, above a 5 is better than average. Below a 5, like below a 4, below a 3, below a 2, below a 1, like that. That's how I do it.
If I could have screenshotted that. You doing the video? We saving this? I'm gonna screenshot each review. And that's going to be the new reviews that we show. Like, oh, hey, Anthony, what do you give this? He's like, I give this some. I give this a.
One day I'm going to have a fucking heart attack in the show. Be like, oh, he really didn't like that song. Oh, God. Oh, man. But yeah, no, this will be a good one. Hey, before we go into, because we're actually moving along pretty well right now. Before we go into Vinyl Rewind, I do want to let's talk a little bit about the set list they've had over the last few shows, because there's been some significant.
You talk about that, yeah.
It really is significant when you look at the tour. I mean, the first night they came out and they played, and they didn't even play a single song of our Versus, which is the first time since Versus came out that only 3 shows ever performed without playing a Versus song, which is wild to me. Really
the first night.
Yeah, the first night. Yes, correct.
Yeah, no Versus stuff.
No Versus. Crazy, correct. Right? Yeah. Yes. Night 1 opened with Oceans, which great. I love Oceans. Present Tense. Why Go Deep? That is a pop. I mean, you're like it's like a fucking box. You're getting hit in the jaw. Good stuff.
It basically they're saying we haven't been in Florida in a while. 50% of the people who were here maybe have never seen Pearl Jam live. We're gonna drop some hits on you.
And then Amongst the Waves. So, and once again, in Florida, wrapped around with water. I mean, it's a good way to put it. A lot of beaches, good stuff. Interesting though, why is Eddie, when he starts the show, no hat on, right? As soon as Dark Matter starts, fucking throws a hat on and it stays on till the end of the show. I want to know.
Is that right?
It is. That is a fact. It is a fact. That is, you know what? That you can. That is a truth.
Maybe he has something on the visor of his hat with lyrics, and they drop down.
They drop down
for the rest of the set list.
Oh man. Well, first 5 songs, then 6 React Respawn, which I think that's the most underrated song off of Dark Matter. That is, I love that Jeff Ament song. Then Dark Matter, Wreckage, Even Flow, Down. That's if you first night, that's a good one. Corduroy, Won't Tell, Leatherman, Wishlist, Running, Lucan.
Leatherman, come on.
Leatherman, you can't go. And then Lucan, and then Porch. So first 17 songs right out the bat for the main set. I think that's a great main set.
That's like half of 10.
That is half of 10. Then Encore, I Won't Back Down, which I'm going to give you my opinion about that in a minute. Then Footsteps.
Well, look, you know why I played that? They're in Florida.
I get that, but here's my.
That's where Tom is from. That's where Tom Petty's from.
Is he?
Yes.
Oh.
Did you not? He's from Gainesville, Florida. Did you not watch the Tom Petty documentary?
I've watched a lot of documentaries.
Running Down a Dream. Maybe
I'll have to rewatch.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna throw that up there with. It's one of the greatest rock documentaries of all time.
Ooh,
Running Down a Dream.
We literally just did a podcast about rock documentaries, and that wasn't even in the top 25.
Well, then it was Amateur Hour. Who were you with?
I was with Brian.
I didn't get a phone call about that.
Yeah, well,
What was in your top 10? What were the
My top 5, if I can remember correctly, was the Ramones documentary, the Flaming Lips documentary, Pearl Jam 20, oh god, I can't think of.
Nobody wants to watch the Flaming Lips documentary.
You're out of your fucking mind. That the
Oh,
original.
I love the Flaming Lips, but I'm talking in a general sense of things. Okay, if you were to sit 100 random people down and play them "Running Down a Dream," which is 3 hours. Peter Bogdanovich did this. You know who Peter Bogdanovich is?
He sounds
the producer.
Like a drug. He sounds like a drug.
And then you play them. Then you play them the Flaming Lips. You know where this is going. Anyway, go ahead. Ramones.
All right, wait,
Ramones.
Yeah, it was. Then
Flaming Lips.
Yeah,
Pearl
Flaming
Jam 20.
20. Then there was the one on CBGB's, and then there was. Oh god, I can't. I'd have to look at the list. This was a couple of weeks ago.
Please tell me Sound City was in that too.
Rolling Stones had it on their list, but it wasn't on mine for my top 5.
Sound City.
I know what Sound City is. It's a great documentary, but you have to remember, things make us feel a certain way. That wasn't in my top 5. Gosh, you're giving me You're giving me shit about the Flame List documentary, but you don't even realize that documentary was made, and then they removed it from the damn list because they like the Flame Lips removed it because then they didn't realize their career was ending because it jump started into a whole new dynamic. The Fearless Freaks is an amazing documentary. The fact that everything I'm not going to get into it anyway. Moving on. So I Won't Back Down. Footsteps, Do the Evolution, So You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star. That's a good rarity. Crazy, Alive, Barbara O'Reilly, and Setting Sun. Okay, here's my theory. Okay, you have a total of 25 songs, right?
Yeah.
I love Pearl Jam. We've talked about this. Can we just do away with cover songs? I mean, if you're going to give me only 25 songs, let's just hear Pearl Jam. I don't want to hear Baba. I don't want to hear I Won't Back Down. I don't want to hear Crazy Mary either. So let's just give me 3 other.
Oh, you probably don't want to hear fucking Rockin' in the Free World either, do you?
No, fuck that. No, you can keep Rocking in the Free World. Give me Alive. Give me Alive instead of Rocking in the Free World. Hey. Get back here. Yeah, listen. When we were getting 36 songs, yeah, you can throw in a couple of covers. But when you're getting 25, I want to hear Pearl Jam. I want to hear what Eddie's actually thinking. I don't want to hear what Neil was thinking. I don't want to hear what Tom was thinking. I want to hear what Eddie was thinking. Also, I am sorry, Chris. I'm getting a lot of shit online right now between YouTube and Facebook about how to know Tom Petty was from Florida.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Yeah. I apologize.
You want to know why? Because Anthony didn't watch Running Down a Dream, the greatest rock documentary ever made.
It's not the greatest rock documentary ever made.
You never even seen it. How do you know?
I'm almost 93.5% sure I've seen that documentary.
Well, when you were halfway through that documentary,
okay,
and they've already gone through, you're like 15 or 20 songs. You're like, wow, man, these guys wrote a lot of great songs. They haven't even like touched on half the catalog. You recognize what a great band that was, top to bottom. You know what I mean?
You're making it sound like I didn't like Tom Petty. I like Tom Petty. I
don't think you like Tom Petty.
I did like Tom Petty. I saw Tom Petty live twice.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed
You
him.
thought Tom Petty was from Kansas.
I didn't.
All right.
I thought Tom.
I mean, listen to him talk. Where do you think he was from?
I thought he was from Canada. I'm not gonna fucking lie.
Jesus.
I really thought he was from fucking Canada. I don't know.
Where's Brad if we need him?
Oh, Brad is at
Brad is no longer going to any shows with you at this point, especially in Canada.
Brad is in Nashville right now at Sam seeing DC Fontaine. I can't even say their names. They left Atlanta.
Fontaine's DC.
I always go backwards. He went and saw them.
Great band.
And then they guess they're getting real big, so I'll let him tell you a story, but you got to text him because his story of how he got tickets for today is pretty awesome. But he drove from Atlanta to Nashville to see this show, and then leaving Nashville to go back to Atlanta to see Pearl Jam tomorrow.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, it's only 4-hour drive, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. All right, so night 2. Let's go through that set list real quick. Release of the Girl, Given a Fly, Do the Evolution. There's your starter. Release, always amazing opener. Of the Girl, back to back. That's a good one. Given a Fly, I love that song. Do the Evolution in the early stages, good stuff. Then the hat goes on. Boom, Eddie's back in the dark matter moment. Dark Matter, Wreckage, Daughter, Not For You, Even Flow, Scared or Fear, Immortality, Jeremy, Faithful, good one right there. Black, Something Special, good underrated song. Better Man, Porch, 17-song main set. Then the encore, Just Breathe, Upper Hand, Elderly Woman Behind the Counter in a Small Town, Sonic Reducer, Alive, Rocking the Free World.
Oh, you don't like Sonic Reducer though?
Once again, I'd prefer Further Own. Yeah, I know it was on Lost. I get it. Listen, enough with the enough. Listen, I have my opinions. You have yours. Okay. But yeah, hey, night 1, night 2, I would say knocked it out of the park. Now I will say
if you went to both of those shows, you got a lot of Pearl Jam. That's a lot of stuff.
That is, but here's the problem though. Then you also have the day in between, and that's the killer for me. That's why it was so hard for me to do these shows, because you have to take a lot more time off of work to do these shows, because you have the flight in, which is usually the day before, and then you have the day of the show, and then the day in between, and then the day after.
Let's be honest. If you want to go see Pearl Jam these days, you better be fucking rich.
You know what? I'm gonna fucking use that all night long.
I mean,
it's expensive, and
I'm not dissing the band at all. I'm just saying
it's
that and it's not even just Pearl Jam. It's I mean, how much are My Morning Jacket tickets?
Oh, you don't want to talk about that.
They're expensive.
No,
they're not expensive.
I have VIP tickets for Friday in St. Louis, where I have an hour early into the show, a poster, an extra merchandise, early merch entry, and everything, and it cost me $121. Well, for me, my wife, and my daughter to go to the show in Kansas City for us 3 was $140 for 3 tickets.
For 3 tickets.
Yep.
So see My Morning Jacket.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, My Morning Jacket right
now. Is that through the band? Is that through the band?
100%, yes. Yeah, you're going, but it goes through Ticketmaster. My Morning Jacket has One Big Family, which is their fan club, which just came out, which you joined. And it's amazing. And I will tell you, when I saw My Morning Jacket in Kansas City last week, they played for just under 3 hours. They played past curfew. They paid the fine for the curfew, and it was amazing. That's why I'm willing to travel 3 hours to go see him on Friday and turn right around and come back home, because I feel like I'm getting my money. When I got VIP I couldn't believe it. It was mind blowing.
And now you bought those tickets through the band at those prices.
Yeah, 100%.
So why can't Pearl Jam do that?
So the difference, I would say, is the couple things, and once again, I have no guarantees on this whatsoever. Oh, are you really? God, is the stage that Pearl Jam's playing on, with the backdrop, the crew, because the crew is bigger this year based off of what's on the stage. Everything based around it, it's just more expensive. I've also heard that the venues they're playing are a little bit more expensive. My Morning Jacket's not playing the same arenas that Pearl Jam's playing. It's 2 different total. We're playing. Pearl. My Morning Jacket's probably playing like, what's a good sized theater in Seattle? I don't know. Like
I think the Paramount would be like 5,000, 6,000 people at the Paramount Theater.
Is that where Jack White's typically playing?
Jack White could sell out Climate Pledge for sure, but
Jack White and My Morning Jacket are basically playing almost identical places right now. But yeah, My Morning Jacket. And once again, you're getting it's just totally different. Like right now, My Morning Jacket they're playing their 5th show in Louisville right now in a row, and they're
what? Yeah, 5 shows in one place.
5 shows, one place, and every night is a different set list. No songs repeated. They're basically going to play their entire fucking catalog as of tonight, which is if you went out there, and I know a few people did, you're getting 5 shows, 3+ hours a night. You're getting
5 nights in a row.
5 nights in a row. Well, no, they had 1 day off, so they did 3 shows, a day off, and then the last 2. 15 hours of music.
That's awesome.
I know. But it's just different. It's different. And I get that. And listen, Pearl Jam is in their 60s. My Morning Jacket.
Yeah. It's a whole, they're different bands. They're different bands.
Different bands. So, and, it's tough. But yeah, so when you said you have to be rich to see Pearl Jam, it's kind of true. And I will say this too. Like, the one thing that kind of bothered me with this tour so far is like, I think the set lists are we're going to talk about Atlanta's from last night, which I thought was really good too. But like, when you look at some of these artists that are doing some of these posters and the quality that's coming out, which I don't think matches what should be out there based off what other artists can do. I just interviewed Courtney, who did the poster for My Morning Jacket last week, who is a huge Pearl Jam fan. She's amazing. She's a female powering, amazing artist. She gets overlooked by a lot of these other artists that are doing it, and they're just doing. I mean, I don't know. I'm just not impressed with some of the shit that's coming out right now.
You're talking about the Pearl Jam posters that were on the.
And that, I mean, the merchandise is just not
I
consistent.
do know that there was a lot of people complaining about the Seminoles on the one poster that they did in Florida, night 2, I think it was.
I don't think. And here's the thing. I don't think it's the topic. Okay, because the topic. It's not the topic. It's the way that it's just. I just don't think. I don't know. Art has everyone has their own opinions on art and whether they like it or not. And once again, I think we've talked about it before. I mean, I have a couple posters up here that people fucking hate that I love because it makes you feel a certain way. But I just feel as though when you're paying premium prices for things, I think you should be getting premium things back. And when you're not getting that, I feel as though you're getting looked at. And once again, I understand that Pearl Jam's a business, and a lot of the decisions they're making are being not made by them per se, because they can't make all the decisions. Pearl Jam's too big to make decisions for themselves, and the band themselves, they want to go on stage, they want to play, and then they want to be with their families. They want to go experience things. They don't want to have to be there at a table checking boxes all the time, because it's impossible. So when they have another company like Mr. T-Shirt making the decisions, Mr. T-Shirt's going to do what he thinks best. And me personally, and I'd love to have him on the show, and he can prove me wrong, and I'd love to ask some tough questions. But honestly, I don't know.
Who is this?
His name is Mr. T-Shirt. His name is Chris, I think, at Mr. T-Shirt.
And he does all the Pearl Jam T-shirts?
He is in charge of the merchandising for Pearl Jam. So he does all the licensing, and he gets all the poster artists. He gets all the T-shirt designs. He does all the stickers.
Gotcha.
He does all that. So he does everything. But I do think that, in my opinion, he has made a lot of bad choices for Pearl Jam when it comes to the band. And
here's the thing though, like let's say that they're picking particular artists. They're gonna say, "Hey, I want Monk One to do this, poster. I want Ames Bros to do this. I want EMEC to do this. Whatever it is." They have no say over what those posters look like. So in the end, it's the artist. It's not the band.
Yes and no.
So at that point, you're like, well, you should have picked a different artist. Well, now you're complaining about art, and you know how that is.
But it's yes and no, because we've had artists on the show before, and next episode I'll get an artist on here that's done a Pearl Jam poster recently.
Fun. Yeah,
and they can talk about their experience with it, because a lot of times it's changed drastically since Mr. T-Shirt has taken it over. One artist in particular, which I'd love to have him be open about this, he kind of holds back a little bit because he's worried about saying something wrong and then getting backlash. But previous to Mr. T-Shirt coming in, he was very hands-on with, he would give his ideas to the band would just approve yay or nay, and they would say, here's a list of things don't put on there, not these colors, not these imagery, and go from there. And he would get paid ahead of time. Nowadays, Mr. T-Shirt has a different pay scale how things work. He's a little more, there's been artists that have come out talking against how he does things, whether it's true or not. It's just based off of things online. And I want more female-driven artists to do Pearl Jam posters. I feel like that is one spot that has been overlooked, and the posters that have been done for Pearl Jam that have been female-driven artists have been knocked out of the park, and there's not enough out there. And there's so many female artists out there right now that deserve the shot. And I'm just kind of over the same bullshit that is given to us. And here's the thing, and I am the biggest reason why they continue doing this is because we will buy anything and everything that says Pearl Jam on it, whether it's good or bad, and we just take it. And realistically, the only way that things will ever change is if you stand up for something.
You're right. The only way they'll stand up is if you don't buy it. And at that point, they'll be like, "Oh wait, this is not working."
And I'm saying this now, and I know that there's people in the band that watch and they've commented and stuff like that, and they've done things. Just give more women shot. That's it. There's so many talented female artists that they just need the opportunity to do it. And I'm just saying, just give them a shot.
I mean, outside of Tara McPherson, who I know, and I've
Mhm.
got a few of her prints, which I love. Yeah, I really have not. It has been interesting. I used to be much like you, where even if there were shows I weren't going to, um, if they were posters that I fell in love with, I was doing everything I could to get them.
Mhm.
And now I'm at the point where I'm like, I have 80 posters downstairs unframed. It's like eventually you're like, what am I gonna do with all this stuff? So,
Yeah.
and so you are waiting for like that one, the Chuck Sperry
Yeah.
EMAC, something to where you're like, holy shit,
Yeah.
that you're gonna go invest your money in, and hopefully you're at the show, and if you're not, hopefully you can still get the poster one way, shape, or form. So,
Yeah, I mean, even Jack White. I went and saw Jack White 3 nights in a row. I didn't buy. I bought a. I think I bought a T-shirt and I bought a Charlotte shirt. I didn't buy anything. Like I was just
yeah,
like, I have too much shit. I'm trying to get rid of stuff. Like I literally
I've
like.
got June, our daughter, she wears 50% of my Pearl Jam T-shirts these days.
Oh really?
So roll down to the closet and pull stuff out, and
Mm,
it's fine. That didn't bother me at all. So
yeah. No, I love it. I mean,
yeah,
Charlotte's starting to get into like the other day she had her concert. And she was wearing a My Morning Jacket shirt, and I was like, it was a cool experience. I loved
yeah.
them. But all right, let me
Well,
talk about let's talk about the set list real quick before we
yeah,
get too
yeah.
far off.
The Atlanta set list.
Yeah, opening up with "Can't Keep," "Nothing Man," "Given a Fly" once. That to me right now, that's the
Here
top
we go.
4. That's a great opening. "Scared of Fear," "Wreckage," "Even Flow," "Unthought Known," "Daughter," "Dark Matter," "In Hiding," "Not for You," "Into Modern Girl," "Won't Tell,"
Modern Girl.
"Deep," "Jeremy," "Severed Hand," "Porch," "Can't Keep Me in Your Heart," "Inside Job," "Mind Your Matters," "Do the Evolution," "Spin the Black Circle," "Alive," "Bob O'Reilly," and then ending with "Indifference." 20. So basically, all 3 nights, 25 songs on the nose. So 75 songs across 3 shows, with another show tomorrow night. I think if you can't leave being unhappy. Those are great shows.
Yep, yep. I mean, look, it's a wide catalog. If they, how many things off of Yield do they play? How many things off of Binaural do they play? It's like they're definitely skipping some albums, but that's going to happen when you're 13.
Oh, of course.
How many albums do they have now? 12,
Oh God,
13?
712.
No. How many albums? How many albums do they have?
Hold on. I think
Should know that.
I should know this. Why? Like 10, 11, 12?
Why you know this?
Why don't you know this? Why why am I being harassed on the knowledge that you should also know as well? Hold on a second. Now you got me. I'm overthinking this really hard right
One,
now.
two. A giveaway does not count. 1, 2. MTV
1, 2,
Unplugged does not
3, 4.
count.
So
1,
9,
2,
10,
3,
11,
4, 5.
12, 13. Wait, no, that's not right.
13 albums.
Okay, cool.
10. No, I'm sorry. 12 albums. 10 versus Vitalogy, No Code, Yield, Binaural, Right Act, Avocado, Backspace for Lightning Bolt, Gigaton, Dark Matter.
There you go. Okay. Thank
12
God you know
albums.
this. All right.
So that's 100 and let's call that 150 songs, that are originals.
Yeah. Can't
Whatever that is.
Can't go wrong.
You're getting 25 a night.
Yeah.
So how do you space it out? And that's not an enviable job. Eddie took that on probably early on, and that's probably easy the first 3 albums, but after that,
it's got
that'd be interesting I say Eddie took it on. It'd be interesting to watch them and
like dig into
watch them backstage. Are they writing these things together?
Maybe we need to reach out to like Tim and be like, hey Tim, listen, we have this show, we've been doing it for 5 years, 5-year anniversary this summer. Can we just like do an episode backstage and just like watch them and just like we'll be like, like when you're watching the Golf Channel, be like, and here goes Eddie as he runs down the
look
front.
Look at Jeff. Jeff pulled out the black pen. He crossed it out. He crossed it out.
Oh shit, we gotta cross it. We gotta cross. Oh wait,
crossed it out.
Oh wait, what do you
He
cross?
crossed out Smile.
Oh God, what's going in place of it? Up. Oh no, up. Stone's coming in, and Stone goes for the swing, and up here it comes rear view mirror in place of Smile. All right, I think, and then we get a little golf trip. I think that'd be clever.
I don't see that happening anytime soon. That would be awesome, though.
Come on now. I mean, come on now. 5 years of doing this show. 5 years.
Tim, come on. 5 years in the show. Bring your phone backstage. Just go to Instagram Live. Help us out.
Help us out. That's right. We'll
out.
We'll have to phone a friend. All right. Well, let's go to a new segment to the show. And I wonder if you remember this because it is.
Well, oh shit.
Vinyl Rewind.
Man. What?
Yeah, you don't remember this? Hold on. Well,
what is this?
We did it last month. Vinyl Rewind.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, now you do. See? You don't keep up. All right, listen. Well, I have a feeling. I was thinking about this when I was listening to this album this morning and this band. Is that like, I bet you, because I bet you Holly listened to this band. I bet you this is a band. I bet you me and Holly listened to a lot of the same music in the early 2000s. There was a band, American rock band from New York City that really was coming off the heels of the Strokes being popular. And
I was about to say the Strokes, but you just said the Strokes being popular.
No.
Okay.
So the Strokes, Yeah Yeahs, and all those kind of bands really flooded the New York scene at one point in the early 2000s. Then there was this kind of wave of other alternative indie bands that were coming out in the 2003 to 2005 mark that really had like an 80s kind of rock sound to it. The band was called The Bravery. Have you ever heard of them? The Bravery. Have you never heard of The Bravery? Their most popular song was An Honest Mistake. Have you never heard of the song, Trey?
This is like a rave. What the fuck is this?
Ask Holly right now. I guarantee you Holly listens to this band.
Love her. Did you ever listen to The Bravery? She's like, yeah, she's heard of them.
Oh, I guess maybe I was more of a fan. Maybe I was the only fan. I have no idea.
I mean, it's no Built to Spill, Anthony.
You can't compare apples to oranges.
It's like the Hives. You know the Hives?
No, the Hives are much more energetic. The Bravery, the lead singer, had a very lazy voice. So they had their album, it was a self-titled album, came out in 2005. I really love this band. And this was like,
I can see Anthony wearing a bunch of neon, doing some ecstasy at a rave at 2 a.m. listening to this band. That's what I see.
Not Anthony at all. They were in a rave band. They were like, I don't even know, like, they were just like, I felt like they were trying to be like an 80s band. Like, I don't know. This was.
It's the same song?
No, it's a different song.
Well, it sounds exactly the same fucking song as the last 3 you played.
Hold on.
It's the exact same beat. Exact same beat. Do, 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 do.
I cannot.
I'm not wrong about that.
Oh my God! No, they were the Bravery. You have to give them this. This is a great band. They were a fun band.
Oh, great!
They were a post-punk like
fun.
This was like the reason I don't think they ever really took off was because their music was right on point. His vocals, I felt like were almost a mixture of like a Morrissey, kind of like a lazy vocal singing kind of style. But you know what? Fine. Fuck. You know what? Time out. You know what? I'm just gonna. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to revoke.
You're gonna delete all those songs off of your iPods. What you're gonna do?
Get out of here with my iPod.
You know what? When Anthony joined MySpace, that was his MySpace opening song right there.
It's not my MySpace opening song. It's such a dumbass. Like, fucking God. You know what? I will say this though. Last week, I had with a couple other people in the community. We were able to get Liam Finn over the 1 million listen for one of his songs. He has none of his songs over 1 million until last week. We pushed it, got second chance on it. But his new song, "The Howl," off the self-titled song off the new album, is fucking amazing. Have you heard this?
Who are we talking about? Same band?
No, this is a new band. We're going to Liam Finn real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Have you
Liam
heard
Finn.
the new song, "Howl"?
No.
Oh. Have you seen Liam Finn live?
It was Liam Finn at Pearl Jam 20.
Yep.
Then I saw him at Pearl Jam 20.
Oh, you have to see him. You have to see him solo.
Yeah.
He is. He's got a fucking voice of an angel, and the fact he plays every fucking instrument on stage is just
a voice of an angel.
Voice of
Have
an
you
angel.
heard that? Yes.
Oh, P.S. I just want to let you know, I bought me and Charlotte tickets to see Deep Sea Diver on July 10th in Kansas City.
You do what now?
We are going. Me and my daughter are seeing Deep Sea Diver on July 10th in Kansas City.
Hell yes, you're in for a treat, man. They're also playing Ohana Fest.
Okay. I'm gonna. Okay.
Don't even talk to me about it. Same.
Are you? I'm not.
I can't. I'm in the middle of harvest. I can't do it.
Yeah, and I don't think it's that good of a lineup for.
It's a good lineup.
No, not for the cost. No.
Oh well, I didn't see that. I had no idea what ticket prices are. I thought the lineup was really good.
I mean, it's good, but it's not like these are not. I don't know. I think. Yeah, no, I don't think it's.
I mean, there's no. You know what? I didn't see it there. I didn't see the Bravery on there. They fucking the Bravery on there.
It's called fucking Vinyl Rewind for a reason. You're going back. You're going to look at shit you used to listen to that no one's listening to now. That's why we did it. It's going back. Sometimes you're gonna like it. Sometimes you're not. At least I did my homework and had it set up for this time, Trey.
Well, listen. Here's my. We're going backwards in time. We're gonna go around the same time frame.
Okay. What's the name? What's the name of the artist?
So you're listening to the Bravery.
Mm-hmm.
We're listening to "Keep It Like a Secret" by Built to Spill.
Keep it.
All right. You ever heard of The Plan? Carry the Zero? No? Carry the Zero? Time Trap?
Nope.
No? You never heard those songs?
Nope.
Well, you ever heard You Were Right?
Nope.
Well, why don't you look up "Keep It Like a Secret" by Built to Spill and work your way through that, and then get back to me about the Bravery.
Why can't I like it both?
You can like both. You can like both. That's the thing. You know what? I recognize that I should. As we always say, Anthony, art's an opinion.
It's an opinion, and you know what they say about opinions.
And yep, what do they say about opinions, Anthony?
They're like assholes. Everyone's got one. Some smell and some don't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just made that. I put that on the end. I've never heard that.
Oh, listen. Oh, man. Go ahead. Play that. Play that loud. Should be showing the video for this.
And once again, I think, listen, Built to Spill, you're the one who got me turned on to him 5 years ago. Good band.
A great band. The reason I brought that up is because Holly and I just got to see them at Tree Fort Music Festival in Boise last month, along with Deep Sea Diver and a bunch of other bands too. But they're a Boise band, so it's like a homecoming show for them. And yeah, man, Doug Marsh, dude, the guy's been doing it since late '80s, but '90s for Built to Spill. A long time, and their last album is great. So it's like there's something to be said for anyone that can play music for 20, 30 years
successfully
and like make great music. You know what I mean?
Well, I say this, Trey. I'm going to pause this. We all have different opinions about music. You might agree with us. You might not agree with us. Just listen.
Yeah.
Take it in.
Okay.
Go to your local. This world needs punk rock music more now than ever. Listen to what the artists are saying. Fight for your right to party, and
fight for your right for sure.
100%.
Yeah, there's something that all musicians can agree with right there.
Yeah, but I say we end this show with an amazing song. Not a good song, not a great song, but an amazing song.
Okay.
Do you have anything you would like to add before we end the show?
No, I love you, Anthony. It's great to see you as always. Thank you for doing this with me.
Well, I love you too,
Always
Trey.
brings me joy.
Oh, it's always a joy, even when we bust each other's balls. But I'm going to end the show with the band I can't wait to see on Friday. This is Out in the Open from My Morning Jacket. Next week, I'll have another show with Brian Meth. We're going to be doing another Unnecessary List. We're going to be talking about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And
Soundgarden.
Soundgarden, White Stripes. I cannot believe it.
White Stripes.
It's so good. So that's next week, and then I'll have another show coming out next week, just a Touring Fan Live show. So keep it out. Until then, that's Trey. Buy his wine. I'm Anthony. Keep supporting the channel. Thank you so much. And until next time, thanks for tuning in. And here is My Morning Jacket. In the light of the sun, the waters run into the valley below. Well, I'm swimming